Hi, friends. Can being an introvert in this industry as an esthetician make or break you? That is a conversation we are going to have today on Spilling the EsTea podcast. I am here with Katie. Um, welcome, Katie.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being on here. So you have been with Humblebee for about 3 years. So
Yeah,
wild.
it's gone by so
So wi-
quick.
I
Like
know
the
it's
blink of an eye.
right? And then you actually been an esthetician, which I found you just told me today and
Yeah.
reminded me I did it but for 6 years you've been an
Yeah.
esthetician and
Yeah.
it's just so great. I mean, you're literally an inspiration of what it takes to be an esthetician doing your I always say slow and steady wins the race and you just
Absolutely.
really showed up and that's why you're a busy girl here at Humblebee.
Patience is key, honestly. Especially in the beginning. You have to just take the L and just keep moving.
Right? Oh, for reals.
Yeah.
It really is like I really do. Like you said, it's key
hmm
to keep going. Okay, so let's get the tea on what made you become an esthetician.
Honestly, I never even knew that it was that was an option until I was about to graduate high school and I did not know where I wanted to go with my life. But I had always watched I grew up watching like beauty YouTube. So I knew I was so interested in how to make your own face mask, how to take care of your skin, like how to do makeup, how to do hair, all of that was so appealing to me and I spent a lot of time in middle school and high school just focusing on that when I was at home. It's kind of like a little hobby for me. And then when I found out you can literally have a job that focuses on that, I was like, well, sign me up. Let's give that a shot. So I went and just did a little tour and the lady was talking to me. She told me if you don't really want to do hair, esthetician, that's where you should be. And I was like, okay, I guess that's what I'll be. So I went to school for it and here I am. But I really thought that when I first started, I was wanting to focus on facials and makeup, but waxing just stole my heart right away. I was like, this is fun. I can see why people like this. This is a good time.
Right?
So
It calls you, huh?
it really did. Sometimes it chooses you, you know? It's
Agreed.
just like the sorting hat in Harry Potter, you know? It's like they put that on and it was like, you're gonna be a waxer and then you're actually gonna do sugaring instead because it's better.
Yeah.
And I just let it take me.
I love that. It's so true. I agree. I mean, I thought the same thing. I thought, oh, I was gonna do facials on a cruise line and travel the world.
Yeah. Oh, that's a nice
But
idea.
that was not my calling. That was
Humblebee on
just
the cruise ship? Should we
I
start?
I like that. Maybe on the Taylor Swift cruise.
Yes, absolutely. Sign me up.
I love. Okay, well, would you say that you're more on the introvert side or extrovert side?
I'm definitely more introverted. I have my social battery can only handle so much, you know? I need my me time.
Oh, for sure. I'm the same. I'm totally introverted. Like I always tell people like I was super, super shy. Like I feel like I'm not as much as I used to be because I think I can't be shy anymore. But when I first got in this industry, oh my God, I was painfully shy. Almost to where like, oh, everyone knew me. Oh, the quiet one, the quiet one, the quiet
Yeah,
one.
I get I know, me too. I feel like that was me all throughout high school. They were like, "Oh, you're so cute. You're so shy and quiet. You just you're just there and you're happy." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's what I do." But you really have to just get comfortable
Yeah.
eventually.
So would you say being an esthetician kind of brought you out of your shell?
It did. 100%. I feel like before, sometimes I was almost scared to talk at all. I just didn't want to do say the wrong thing or be awkward because I feel like I've always been a really awkward person and people have said that to my face. So it really makes you reconsider something. So I was like, well, it's just me and one other person in here. What really could happen, Just start a conversation.
Right. It's so true because it's interesting because when we do our hiring, we do get we get a side of people who estheticians are more on the introverted side, so we get a
Yeah,
lot of shy people who are interviewing, and it's kind of hard to kind of pick like, okay, who's gonna rise to the occasion? Who's going to get into this job and okay, this is what I'm gonna do and then grow into becoming who you are, especially when you are young, you don't have that much experience.
definitely. A lot of growing to do. How do you predict the future for someone like that?
Yeah, so it's one of those things where I'm like I always have like the heart of gold. I'm like, that's all the shy ones, but You can
They could
do
be
that.
just like me, you know?
Yeah, but it's hard to find the key people, but there's something that you kind of see in someone who we're like, okay, this person, I think we can mold them and
Mhm.
to grow into this industry. And it's pretty cool to see like your growth. Like I said, you really built your clientele like slowly and
Yeah.
steady, and you can just see the confidence that you have. And it's I think that's what I love to see, like people's actual growth into becoming an esthetician and just as a person.
Yeah. It's nice to see that too, like even to like look like now and like see everything and like look back on those times where I was just like, oh, just two people today and like nothing else to do. And if I have to stare at these four walls and like clean this room top to bottom, like I will do that and I will get there one day. And like when it feels so hopeless, it's so nice now to look back and be like, there was hope. You just have to be patient and just keep going.
Yeah, it's true. And sometimes, like, I'll see schedules, and not you particularly, but some people who are like kind of like they'll find their people. You'll end up finding your
You
people, and
really do.
and they'll be your diehard people. They'll give you like all your little swag that you have on your apron.
Oh my gosh. I have so much swag. A lot of it is gifts. Some of them have been from clients, some of them have been from friends, but everybody knows I love a little trinket. I love a little pin. If you give me one, it's going right on.
So cool. Okay, so give me example of how when you started, like when you started to how you are now, like tell us how you feel you changed.
I have changed so much as a person, as an esthetician. I feel like in the beginning, when I was in the room by myself, I was overthinking every little detail, like down to like what, like the penny, like everything was thought of in my head. And that really kind of like held me back, actually. And I feel like once you just kind of like let go of that and don't overthink it and just kind of like let yourself relax, you can just be yourself so much easier. And like you just trust that you know what you're doing. You know, it's not your first time. Well, I mean, back then it was, but you know. But you just have to give it time and you get into the swing of things, you find your groove, and then it's like second nature now. And just doesn't
Right.
let you don't hold yourself back by overthinking it because that's totally like that's it happens to everybody.
And the clients feel that too. The clients are kind of
They
like,
do. They'll feel if you're like tense. So I try to just be as relaxed as possible because, you know, it's not a big deal. It's not.
yeah, it's true. Yeah, sometimes if I feel like the energy of someone is like too much, I'm like, oh, I gotta be right back. And I'll actually leave the room and I'll like touch the ground. I'm like, oh, I gotta get this energy out. And then I'll
Yeah,
just go back in. And like I always say, my Sasha Fierce is inside the room. I'm completely confident in the room. I know what I'm doing. And I think because we have that superpower in our hand, our sugar ball,
oh yeah,
we really can educate them and teach them about sugaring. And I think them knowing like, wow, she knows what she's talking about really gives confidence.
definitely. That helped me a lot. I feel like when I kind of like stepped back and was like, okay, clearly I need to just, you know, stop overthinking things, relax a little bit. I focused on like the educational aspect of it and just use that because like sometimes I was like too shy or too like scared or intimidated to like start regular conversation with people. But if you start off with like the educational part of it, you get a lot of the conversation just from that and asking them questions about like their experiences and like comparing, contrasting, all that kind of thing. And then it leads you into like a normal flow of a conversation, you know?
Oh, 1,000%.
And it's a great stepping stone. Yeah,
Yeah, it really is. It really helps the flow of the conversation, and it really makes them want to come back too because you explained exactly what they're going through, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, Katie told me that. I need to come back in 4 weeks and do all the things."
exactly. Focus on what you know and not what you don't know, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And then you can get into the juice and tea of their life once they become like your regulars that you see like every single month.
Exactly. And then you get
Yeah.
to update them on your life and they update you on their life. And it's just fun because you're just going to be like, oh, and then at the end, everybody's smooth and nice.
Yeah, exactly. So what advice would you give someone coming like fresh out of school and they're coming in this industry as an introvert? What advice would you give?
I know it's very intimidating when you're coming into this industry, especially straight from school. You don't really know anything. And I felt like when I graduated, I was like, there's so much that I don't know. Like, I feel like I have more to do, more to learn. And they did, like, it was done. That was it. So I also like hesitated a lot to before I like got into the industry because I just wasn't like, I was just scared. You know, it's a scary thing. It's a new and that, like new things are really hard. I don't know if anyone else, if that's like a exclusively extrovert trait, but like new things are scary. So I was like, I did not want to start, but once I finally just like, you just have to go. just do it. Literally, like Nike, just do it. And as long as you just push yourself to it, like good things will happen. But you have to just take that first big leap and not be afraid, even though it is scary.
Yeah, I know. When we were talking prior to this, it was like, oh my God, you had your license for 6 years, and three
Yeah.
years is when you decided to take that leap. It
Yeah.
took you 3 years to be like, okay, I gotta do this.
Yes, I was just too comfortable where I was, you know? I had a job where I was familiar, I was good at it, and I was like, like I took that job just to pay, like to get through school, and I just ended up like loving it. So I was just like, oh, like I'll deal with that later, you know? And like even like my manager at the time, she was always just like I'm glad you're doing that. Like you went to school for this. This is what you want to do. And I was like, I know it's what I want to do, but it's also like so scary that you don't want to do it almost. So I just kind of like put like, so came up with so many excuses, like, no, like it's so hard to find a job, like fresh out of school, which it is. It is. A lot of people don't want you when you're fresh, and that's understandable. But someone has to take the the freshly graduated people, right? So you just gotta hunt for it and find them and just go for it.
That's so cool. I'm so happy we have you as an esthetician with Humblebee, and
Me too.
like you're the perfect example of like just gotta persevere, like, and build yourself up and be like, no, I can do this. And
Mhm.
it's such a cool story, and it was great to have you.
Yes, thanks for having me. This was fun.